Good afternoon. We're here to react today to The Lion King, which is coming out July 19th. And I'm G Unit, and to my right is Matt LaBosse, and to his right is General Doop-de-Doo. And you want to tell us a little bit about The Lion King, Matt, or probably everybody knows?
Well, I think everybody kind of knows about what the Lion King's about. If you don't know, I mean, they made kind of a realistic version of it, so that's the trailer that we're going to be reacting to. Obviously, not
What? They made
the.
like a realistic version?
Yeah.
It is? That's what the movie's about?
Well,
Wow,
that's
this
not
is
what.
like this is like Cain and Abel kind of stuff here.
Yeah, so I don't know how kid friendly this will be, knowing what happens in The Lion King because it's realistic, so should be interesting for sure.
I don't think the original Lion King is like super kid friendly. I
Me,
mean, you have you have one brother trying to kill his other brother.
Yeah,
That's not good.
right.
I liked The Lion King. I liked The Lion King on Broadway. I liked The Lion King,
Totally.
Disney Lion King. And
Same.
only the voices are real people. I mean, the animals are not real
I like the
animals.
Tree of
Right.
Life at Disney World.
But the
So,
fact that it looks
Animal
so
Kingdom.
realistic might be like disturbing to kids.
Okay, I
it
haven't
might
seen
be.
it, so
I'm excited. I can't wait for it to come
I'm
out.
excited too. I think.
So,
I mean, if it's
I'm excited without even seeing the trailer.
let's get
I don't even think
started.
we need to watch
all
Let's
this.
right,
get
let's
started.
let's watch the trailer for The Lion King.
Life's not fair, is it, my little friend?
Wow.
While some are born to feast, others spend their lives in the dark.
Ooh, the hyenas.
Begging for scraps.
There's Scar.
This is gonna be amazing on the big screen.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Exist together in a delicate balance.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
While others search for what they can take, a true king searches for what he can give.
Wow. Oh my gosh, I'm already ready to cry. See him put his paw in his daddy's paw. Rafiki. Oh.
I just got chills.
Oh.
The music is so good.
Yes. Nala and Mufasa.
And the circle of life.
Oof. It's got big time chills right there.
Oh.
Wow.
And these are the voices. Oh, James Earl Jones, excuse me, is one of the voices.
Okay.
Wow.
I had not seen that trailer before. That is, I'm already, like you said, total chills.
Yeah.
I have to see
And
that.
look, I mean, just the
Right.
animation and the graphics alone look unbelievable.
Friday can't come too soon for me.
Remember when they did the Jungle
Oh.
Book
Yeah, that
with
was
the
that was
real
good.
animals? That was
Yeah.
really well done. This
Yeah.
looks really well done.
Yeah.
We need to get tickets. I'm sorry, but we are getting tickets ahead of time for the big screen. This is a big screen movie.
I'm still waiting a couple of weeks though, because everybody will be there the first weekend.
Oh, but
I don't like sitting next to people when they're like chomping on their popcorn and there's no room. And
Yeah, but if you get to the really big screen theaters, usually those seats are pretty big to where you're not
right,
really next to somebody. Unlike like
Yeah.
the smaller screen theaters,
yeah,
you're like elbow to elbow.
mm-hmm.
It's definitely, I think it's definitely a big screen movie
Al and I
because you want to
see
you want to see it big time.
we see a lot of movies that have real life animals. You know, where they do those like documentary style things. You know, in the jungle or in
Right.
Africa or wherever, and they put those on the big screen. Like Al and I have seen a ton of movies
Yeah.
like that. Why are you
Yeah.
looking at me like I'm
Well-
crazy right now? You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about, but these aren't real animals.
I know it's not real. It's like they're real animals put to a movie. Aren't they real animals that they just animatronic their lips?
No.
What?
No.
What?
They
Those
would-
aren't
I'm not sure.
graphics?
Those are all graphics.
They are not.
Yes, they are.
Were they graphics, Mother? Did you
They
think
were
they
all
were graphics
graphics.
or real animals?
I don't think that they look real.
So-
they looked really, truly real. But
Those aren't
I don't
real?
think those animals could romp around and react the way that they do in.
Yeah, they make their faces
In a-
react like that.
So-
But
so what
but
they do
were
is that
portraying the characters in Lion King just like we saw them in the
Right,
animated
you would never be able to
series.
get real animals to do that.
Exactly. Yeah.
I thought
But-
they were real animals. I'm so crushed right now.
So
Well-
like what they do in video games, they take real people and they scan their face and they put that in there. So
I'm
that's,
literally gonna
that's
cry.
probably what they did for
I'm
this.
gonna
Is that
act
they
like
took
they're real.
so they took real animals and they scanned them and got all the details in, and then they put them in graphically.
When I go see the movie, I'm gonna act like they're real. I'm just gonna think that they're real because it's gonna
I
make
mean,
the
they
whole
weren't
thing
they
better
weren't
for
real
me.
in the first movie, so
Yeah, but that was graphics. You know those were graph. I mean, I know this is graphics too. Don't look at me like that. I get that.
It really doesn't matter to me because
This
from
is
the
realistic
beginning, when you hear Scar say "Life's not fair," and you see
I don't
these.
think that was Scar.
That was Scar is the one that says "Life's not fair." Oh yeah,
I don't think that was
I
Scar.
know this movie by heart. That was Scar.
This is my
One of
oldest
the-
son's favorite movie of all time.
Yes,
He
I've
watched this.
seen it a
My
few
son
hundred
Zach
times.
Watched this a
Mhm.
1,000 times. Loved this movie.
I
One,
did
one
not
of the
watch this
things
1,000
one of the
times.
things I always was concerned about with this movie, as much as I love it, was first of all, little kids are not going to get the whole Scar kind of fascist
What?
regime.
I
Yeah,
think he's
with
just
all-
I think he's
when
just
Scar-
power hungry.
Why are you
When
making
Scar-
this political?
because when Scar is up on the after he takes out his brother and he's up on the mountain and he's looking down at all the
The other animals.
Oh,
Yeah,
the way they
animals.
march like that, the way
and
they
the
were marching in The
marching,
Lion King.
and they're all keeping step with everything that,
Yeah,
that
yes.
Scar says, and they're following him.
It
and
was
he's
like that.
this
It was
cold-
like Hitler. It was
Yes,
like Germany.
it was very-
It was like
and
Yeah.
in the animated series,
that's what they did.
I thought that's probably a good thing to introduce to children so they know that's something we want to keep alive. Not necessarily that it was meant to reenact Hitler and his regime.
But they
But it is-
purposely did that.
but it
Whoever made
is-
the movie purposely had that march in there.
Yes, and it was that concept. Even before that, though, is the tension that exists between Scar and Mufasa, the two brothers, and how jealous Scar is of his brother,
Right.
and how and here we're supposed to be reacting to just what we saw in this.
Right, but it's still
But
it's
kids-
still about the movie.
But
The
we can't
kids-
help it because we've all seen.
The kids didn't understand that march. You think the 1,000 times that Zach watched that Lion
No.
King movie,
No.
he never understood what that march was.
No, I don't think little kids did, but I'm thinking.
I still didn't think it was that today.
I mean, Matt's reaction
I
today
do.
is like,
I do. I
I think
absolutely
he's
think
just
that.
power hungry.
And I think that this whole dynamic between Scar and Mufasa, brother and brother, and the jealousy that exists there, and his, maybe I shouldn't say what happens, but that
Well, everybody knows.
that is something that I always thought might have been over the edge, over the top for Disney. Is kind of a Cain and Abel. I mean, it is a Cain,
Cain and
and Abel
Abel.
thing. Yeah.
it's a Cain and Abel story. That's
and
what it is.
it crushes your heart. It just crushes your heart.
If you don't know what that is, you gotta look in the Bible in Genesis, Cain and Abel.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Yes,
so.
you do. You know what Cain and stop it right now.
Cain kills Abel, and it's all out of jealousy.
You
and
went to church. You heard the
Yeah.
stories from the Bible. What do you mean you don't know what Cain and
I
Abel
don't know
is?
what that is.
there's so many. I think the point
Doesn't
that
matter.
One brother is jealous of another brother and wants what his brother has, and he goes
every
and he kills
every
him to
story
get it.
derives from some other story that happened
It's true.
before.
I think the point that I'm trying to make is that there are so many lessons to be learned from The Lion King. Good lessons about love and loyalty,
Hakuna
bad
Matata.
lessons about jealousy and mass hysteria and that sort of thing. And there's the all in all overall warmth that comes from the Lion King. To me, there's so many, and there are more lessons than even that to be learned from the Lion King. But
To me, it's the story of Simba.
Oh
It's
yeah, for sure.
he's the one learning the lessons.
It's how easy it is to crawl into a hole and to want to have an easy life and not have to deal with issues and stuff like that, and not have to face something that you think that you've done. And he had to overcome himself and push himself beyond what he thought he was capable of and heal in the process. To me, it's that whole story. It's his whole story, how he did that. Because we all have something in our life where something would block us, and we could put ourselves in a hole because of some decision that we made, and we have to heal from it in order to move on and become the person that we know that we could be, the person that we were born to be.
Well, poor Simba, he didn't even know from his uncle Scar, his father's brother, tricked him from the beginning, took advantage of him, and he did something, or he thought he did something that he was responsible for that was evil, and it took him down a road that he really didn't want to go down, and that he felt guilty. I mean, he really felt like he was the one who killed his dad, and he just went down a road that was sad, and that he thought he had to overcome himself. And it took his friends along the way to teach him that everybody goes down a road, and they have to. And his father coming to him, his voice out of the blue, and telling him, this is something you have to overcome.
Right.
This is not you. You're a good person. You did not do this. There are always going to be people whispering. Mufasa didn't say this, but to me, there are always going to be people whispering in your ear, trying to get you to do something that you don't believe is right.
Matt, do you have anything to say about this, or are you just here to look good?
I mean, it's Lion King. I mean, it's a good movie. I don't really look too deep into like the other things. I just think that it's a good movie. I've never really been a big Lion King fan.
How come?
It just never really has connected with me.
How come? Like, what about it?
I don't know. I've never really been a big Disney fan. But
Wow.
that's just me. As a kid, I really wasn't into Disney movies.
It's true. That is true.
But the realistic versions, to me, are more intriguing than the cartoon ones, because I've never really been into cartoon movies.
Mm-hmm.
So, like,
This is true
watching
too.
the realistic Jungle Book movie was awesome.
Yeah.
And I thought it was way better than the original one. So I think, for me, this movie is more exciting than the old one.
Do you think
how
this one looks more exciting than the Jungle Book realistic one? Or no?
I don't.
You can't tell yet.
I can't tell, but the Jungle Book was really good,
How do you
and
guys?
I've always liked the Jungle Book story too.
How do you guys generally feel about the new ownership of Disney taking the movies, animated movies, and making them more lifelike, redoing them,
Oh,
and making
recreating
them
them all.
Oh,
to
I like
lifelike. I mean, they don't really have much else to
Look,
work with.
Zach's 29. Zach's going to be 29 years old this year. Matt's 26 this week. Lion King is how old? I mean, Zach
early
watched
90s?
Yeah, early 90s. Zach watched it 1,000 times, loved that movie. Now they've recreated it. They have given rebirth to a story.
Well, and you're bringing in the whole millennial generation that grew up with it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you're bringing that millennial generation's kids into it.
That's right. Yeah.
And so, it just makes sense
It's
by
a
Disney
rebirth.
why to
Yeah.
remake these movies.
Yeah.
And give a different reason why to come back instead of just another cartoon
They're-
version.
Yeah.
If it's realistic, there's obviously a reason to come back
They're,
because you want to see
they're
the
very
realistic
good at
version.
we are-
monetizing.
Here we are, 3 generations. I mean,
Right.
these, for the most part, the animated movies from Bambi on up came out during when I was a child, and then Debbie, who's my daughter, and you,
You know me as General Duke.
my grandson, yeah, but there have been remakes or redos or reintroductions of the same movie. Like, first they came out during my
I
generation.
mean, like 101
then,
Dalmatians.
Then they went in the vault.
That
and
was the
then they-
first one that they did a realistic version of.
It was.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
That was pretty
No.
well. No.
No, the dogs were not.
Yeah, they did one in like 98 or 2000 or something.
Yeah.
After
There was
the
a
animated version.
Right, that's
yeah,
what I'm
they
saying.
did.
That
Yeah,
was the
they did.
first one that they did.
Yeah.
Yep,
It was well done.
it
Yeah.
was.
But I think Jungle Book was better, and I think this is going to be amazing.
Oh, yeah.
For certain.
Well, with all the new technology that's come out, they just, I mean, it looks real.
Mhm.
Obviously, it's not.
I thought they were real. I thought they were real animals. I'm so bummed
Like,
right now.
if you've seen the Jungle Book and you see the big orangutan.
That I knew wasn't.
Well, yeah, because it's a humongous orangutan.
Yeah, but these look more real than the Jungle Book animals looked in that movie. Like,
Yeah.
every year
Well,
they
I
get better at
they-
making these.
When did
They
when did
get
the Jungle
better.
Book come out? 15?
I don't remember. Yeah.
I think
but
it was
every
4
year they
years
get
ago.
better at making
It
these things
hasn't
look
been that
real.
many years ago, but yeah.
Right, but every year technology exponentially gets better.
That's right. Yeah,
So, I mean, I'm excited because
I am too.
it's a realistic version. I'm not too much into the cartoon movies.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, it's almost kind of like watching it from a different angle.
Mm-hmm.
I love them all, and at first I thought doing this was going to take the child out of it, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
And but so far it hasn't, and now I'm thrilled and excited to go see The Lion King.
Do you think it's too realistic for kids?
No,
I would have to see the whole movie, I think, before I decided.
not based off the trailer.
Right,
No.
but we know what happens in the movie.
Mm-hmm. I think that animated version of The Lion King is like shocking. It is murder. You have one brother murdering another brother
Right.
in an animated movie for kids. It's
Right,
shocking.
so now you have the realistic version of it.
Which is more real. Because
are-
that's what animals do in real life. They go
Right.
after each other.
Right.
Like, to me, it seems like it's not as devastating as purposely making an animated movie for kids where one person wants to murder. It's like Snow White. The evil queen goes to kill Snow White. She gives her a poison apple. She wants to, like, put her to sleep forever.
There are
it's
people today
like Walt Disney was twisted or
strenuously
something.
object to the themes in Lion King or Sleeping Beauty or other
Well, a lot of
that,
Disney movies.
that
A lot of
seriously
Disney.
object. I mean, I have objected from the very beginning, ever seeing Bambi's mother being killed. I mean, that killed me. And I've never forgiven Disney for killing off Bambi's mother. There are people that are just going to object to themes that
Right.
seem to be very adult and very too deep for a child to understand,
Right.
the ramifications.
Yeah.
And
It's heavy.
It is heavy. Your son, Zach, was devastated by Mufasa being killed. I mean, who can overcome that?
Devastating. So, we're all going to watch this.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely want to go to the theater and see it.
Definitely
in
at the
a big,
theater.
like, IMAX
Yeah.
Yep.
or
Extreme.
whatever
like the
gigantic
biggest,
screen
yes.
around you.
Yep.
Yes.
Just to
My
get the
husband's
full
gonna want to
experience.
see this. We got to go see it with him for this whole date night movie for certain, and family movie for certain. Date night, yes. Family night, yes. After work by myself, yes,
More than once? Yes.
yes. Mhm,
Yes.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Purchase and own it myself? Yes.
Yep.
Well, all right. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Comment if you have a different opinion or whatever your take on the movie is. And maybe you've seen it already by the time you watch this. And we'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace.